What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about Lucid. I want to give you a quick overview of some of the data points, what is really moving it, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So Lucid's flat, 269 the low, 285 the high. So it does show some signs that it wants to continue to move higher. But you do have lower volume today, so 34.7 million for that, 83.5 is the average. So it's not necessarily just Lucid though, across the board it's having lower volume, and it's the same reason why majority of stocks are red today, and that's because of last minute jitters associated to what might be coming out for the rest of the week. So in case you don't know, tomorrow's the interest rate decision. I think the consensus is that there's going to be that 25 basis point cut, and in my opinion, I think that's already factored into the stock price. But what Powell says afterwards, that is what generally people are concerned about. Same goes for GDP. Consensus right now is 2.8%, and then PCE on a month over month it is 0.2, and year over year 2.5. So all in all, it's going to be an interesting ride, so this might be a good potential time to buy if you do believe a lot of these data points are going to come in line or even beat expectations. But no actual news associated to Lucid, no SEC filing, so it's kind of just the technicals are driving Lucid higher, as well as just somewhat the broader market. And that's largely because of Tesla. So Tesla's hitting new highs once again, so pretty good stuff for that. Flip side, Rivian is going down, so down 3.68%. So it goes to show Lucid is finally getting the attention it deserves from big money. So these are the three culprits, three big transactions on the secondary market that did drive it higher for the high today. So 112, and then 1.16 million. So those were the three buys, and then these are the two sells. So kind of not really much interest today, and so I think big money is just holding their breath. A couple of things did come out that I wanted to share with you, and one is this. So even though I've brought up over the last, 2 weeks, there's been 2 instances of inside information, another one's popping up. I don't know, looks like stemming from a Facebook post, but it shows Lucid sold 150 vehicles to Enterprise Car Rental. And as far as I remember, I don't think Lucid has signed any agreement with Enterprise. I think the most recent one was 6th, if I'm saying that right. So maybe there might be some new partnership coming down the pipeline. I don't know if like Enterprise would be doing 150, and it'd be interesting to see geographically where that would be. But nonetheless, if this is good, or if this is true, then yeah, definitely good stuff for that. Aside from that, Lucid Oasis did post this. So for the first time in Belgium, Lucid will be participating in the 101st edition of the Brussels Motor Show. So pretty good stuff, and this is kind of stemming from my pet peeve of them not disclosing this on Lucid's actual website. Honestly, if you guys have Twitter or X, I keep mixing it up, but make sure you follow Lucid Oasis. A lot of good information, and a lot more than even Lucid itself. Like, they should just be hired as the VP for their marketing and social media, or I guess communications. Like, their information is amazing, and they seem to always be getting like the stock photos before even Lucid itself. So this is why I've kind of said that I think that they're an employee, but you know what, I'm not going to complain, because I think the amount of information that this individual does give is absolutely amazing. So hats off to them. Make sure you go over and follow. But as far as shorts are increasing 1.17 million shares. So even in my video yesterday, shorts at that time were increasing roughly around 3 million shares. By the end of the day, they actually were returning, I think it was around 2.5 million. So quick 180, quick flip. So ultimately that's what gave Lucid a nice bump up higher, and most likely this 1.17 million is kind of just the culprit for why it's going here. So you can even see, just based on the intraday, looks like they did increase roughly like 13 million shares first thing. So that is pretty much the culprit why it did get hit down first thing. And yeah, they haven't really done all that much. They've been returning since then. So they are very, very active. I did not anticipate them to be that active. I thought they'd be kind of basing a lot of their actions based on data points, but they seem to be having a vendetta against Lucid to try to bring Lucid down on the technical stance. And for those of you that follow my other channels, this is exactly why I bring up volume and where it's coming from, because for those of you that do remember, I was stating that if they, like Lucid, was to get above this like 250 range, that is where that super trend indicator is. That's pretty much the same indicator that algorithmic trading does use. So this is why I like to bring up where volume comes from, because if algorithmic trading is bullish, it's a fair assumption your stock is going to go high, very, very high. Algorithmic trading is absolutely the most like powerful aspect out there. So yes, bringing up shorts is valuable, bringing up what big money is doing, but if you have algorithms on your side, your stock is going to go higher. And this is why Lucid is somewhat flat, greenish, whereas Rivian is red. Rivian's technicals don't look nearly as good as Lucid. So this is again a little bit further context on why I bring up things I do. But aside from that, on the actual chart itself, so it is still above that 50-day moving average, which is absolutely key, signaling more of a like another 30-40% on average run. But you do have a couple key resistance points above us, so that right here, so that 100 and 200-day moving average, which is at 291 and 298. So kind of just stay tuned for that. No new analyst ratings, nothing along those lines for today, but 1.34 million in calls, 237,000 in puts. 49% of all the options being done today are optimistic in nature, and of the call options that are being purchased, you still see a consensus for it to be above 3, and still some optimism for 350. So pretty good stuff. One thing that did stand out was right here. So still some entities are believing that it's going to be around that $7 range by May 16th, 2025. Bears, though, are kind of anticipating for it to be sub 250. So even the bears aren't really that bearish, if that kind of makes sense. But nonetheless, though, all options is just merely a sentiment. It does not move the stock price. So kind of just be aware of that. But yeah, this is a quick summary for today, what is moving Lucid and everything else. So despite shorts just doing whatever the hell they're doing, options activity is very optimistic. Lucid's technicals are looking still showing that it's going to continue to move higher up until at least that 100 and 200-day moving average in the short term. And potentially, if Lucid was to come out and just confirm any of these kind of insider information, speculation kind of stuff, then I feel like Lucid could get a nice boost higher, because you have to also factor in Lucid has ran up quite a lot over the last little bit. So over the last 5 days, up 13.72, over the last 1 month, up 29.31, all based on speculation, no actual concrete news itself, just Peter as well as Gagnon during the fireside chat and interview just giving Easter eggs, but no concrete information. So once again, imagine if they were to put out some actual news itself, and that would hopefully be able to propel it higher. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And then one final thing, pop over to my Patreon where I'm giving buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolute bangers. I think I did a quick tally yesterday, just in the month and a half that I've opened the Patreon. One has already 4x'd, one has 2x'd. There's been like 4 or 5 that's gone up like 100%. Some crypto, most stocks, surprisingly. So definitely worthwhile to pop over there. And even aside from that, I do have a lot of good free information on there. I do post just what big money is doing on a larger scale. So I go over this, what some of the hot chains are, what stocks to kind of focus on, and everything that you need to know. So don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And with all that, appreciate all of you watching.